to the next episode of Nerding Out, everybody. As you can see, we've got a visual now. So this is how our episodes are going to be, hopefully from this point on, unless we go somewhere fancy or some sort of specialty thing. But this is the big episode. This is our I almost said Doctor Who.
Doctor Who.
It's a whole different thing.
Doctor Strange episode. We just went and saw it yesterday, and now we're going to discuss what we got wrong, what we got right, what's in between, and things like that.
So extreme spoilers.
Yes. I know we've said this on almost every single episode that we've ever had, but this one is like incredibly extreme spoilers. This one, you don't talk about it on Facebook yet, so just, you've got 5 minutes before we probably get into this.
Yeah, because we definitely have something to talk about in just a second. First.
Oh yeah, we first?
Yes.
Okay. First off, real quick, we are still taking anything that you all have for your D&D characters, the super crazy ones.
Please.
We've already got some really good ones. Again, one of my favorite ones so far has been the cleric that his name is Arthur I. Zacion of Prior. And, you may have a copay, you may have to, get a bill later on before you get that cure wounds. So keep on sending those. We do have an email now, which is don'tsplitparty@gmail.com. Someone already had "don't split the party," so there's no
put
the.
on the bottom, like right.
Yes,
right,
You should have put LE. Just don't split the party.
Don't split le party. No, but send them there. We're going to be doing that the next episode. The next episode is going to be on the Tuesday before Stranger Things Season 4 comes out. So we are going to be talking about Stranger Things, some of the things that we think are going to be it, because I could probably write a college thesis on the thoughts that I have had on that season, thinking of like what's going to be there, because I just was sitting at work and it snapped in my brain. I was like, oh my God, what if this was it? What if this was it? Oh my God, this could probably be it. So...
Well,
Vecna and all that.
what's his name? Well, I can't think of anybody's name from the show anymore.
I mean...
The guy that got sent to Russia. Hopper?
Oh, yeah.
What if he becomes Putin, and that's how Putin got started?
Shaves his hair. Just kind of... Well, no, he did have shaved hair.
Yeah, he starts riding a horse shirtless. Learns, karate, jiu-jitsu.
Just like learns everything there. It's like, oh my God, Hopper, what happened? But yeah, that's going to be the next episode. So for this episode, again, super spoilers. Don't watch from this point on if you don't want to know anything about the Doctor Strange
Spoilers.
Multiverse of Madness. So did you have something before we started?
Nothing on this subject whatsoever, but it's hilarious. I was actually let down by the internet recently when I was looking up gifts. I was hoping I would get lucky, but the "Help the Jeep is Kidnapping Me" is on my little it's on my history, on my search history here. Help the Jeep is kidnapping me. Now he's just taunting us.
Oh,
So
man.
I died laughing when I pulled this up.
Red versus blue. It's going to be quoted
A
the
lot.
entirety
Protect me,
of this.
Cone.
I almost wore that shirt, but I was like, no, I need to represent my Stranger Things t-shirt, so I kept that one.
Well, from this angle, the demon just looks like he's like, oh.
It could have been that or the pop figure version of him, which looked dumb, so I decided to go with the real version. So, it's whatever. So, to begin with this, we went to go see Doctor Strange yesterday. We went to one of them fancy places where you have recliners and things like that.
We bougie.
We bougie. I decided that I wanted to sneak some snacks into the location. Don't die. I thought, like most places have been doing, that if you have a bag, if you have like anything on you that is not attached to you, they check it. So I thought to myself, I just got off work, I'm snacky, I'm not spending $8 or $10 on popcorn. So I'm going to go to the store, I'm going to grab a drink and some snacks, and then I'm going to sneak it in there somehow.
I want to emphasize she's saying snacks. You haven't heard what she brought yet, but she's saying snacks.
So my purse has the big opening on the top, and then it's got a small one in the bottom, and then 2 little pouches on the front of it.
They're perfect size for this snack.
I decided, you know what, I'm going to get a wrap, just like it was a Southwest turkey wrap, and I'm bringing a drink. So I put the drink in the back of my purse so they wouldn't see it. And I put the wrap in one of the small pouches in the front of the purse, thinking they'll never check the small pouches on the front.
She's missing a big point here, though. She put the wrap in her purse, outside of the container of said wrap, and directly into her purse pocket. So it was like Napoleon Dynamite with a pocket full of tater tots, but instead it was a Southwest chicken wrap.
The package that it came in was this big square thing, and there was no way I was going to sneak that in there unless I took it out of the packaging. So I sat down, looked over at him and the people he brought, and I was like, so I brought a snack. And I just whipped out this wrap, and I was like, I brought food.
I hope you have lettuce in your purse still.
No, this wrap was pretty well wrapped up.
I thought it was like a whole egg roll when she pulled it out, and I realized it was just a wrap. I was like, well then.
I made sure to put the one.
Did you let it cool down first?
I made sure that it was the wrapped version where nothing would get out was on the bottom, so the top was the part that was cut. So no, there is nothing in my purse, but I brought that.
I'm surprised it stayed that way because your luck normally be like, I brought a wrap. Oh no.
I was surprised it was too because I chucked it in there. Whenever I got in there, I just threw it onto the chair in my Jeep, and it was just like, let's go, gotta go. So let's preface it. That's how it started. And so we're there, we're watching the scenes and everything. We're probably 20 minutes maybe into the movie, and someone actually fell asleep in the theater.
Out. I mean, full snoring, sawing timber, out.
There was a part where Wanda was talking to Doctor Strange, and it was a very quiet spot. So there was just the sound of the birds chirping in the background.
It would be a nice place to take an outdoor nap.
Yes, and this dude was taking a nap. He or she was just and then a little bit later on, 10 minutes later, it turned into a high-pitched whine, and we were like, did it turn into a baby? Is a baby crying? It's okay if a baby's crying, but then no.
It's not.
It's... This guy was like, could someone go and shut him the hell up? I was ready to get up and just clap in his face and be like, you're in a movie. Not only are you in a movie, but you're in the Doctor Strange movie. You're here for a reason. Get up. Everybody here wants to watch this.
Maybe he was in a different universe dreaming of his other self.
Oh my God.
Watching Doctor Strange there.
He was
his plane
dream
walking.
walking.
He was dream walking.
His other self took him over and fell asleep.
Yep. I was like, I've seen this in mine, so I just need to take a nap here. So, what we got right. We had mentioned that the Illuminati was going to show up in this. And by the way, Nathan has not seen it, unfortunately, so we've kind of given him
the highlights.
Yes, we've gotten some highlights, so it's mostly going to be us fanboying and then him just kind of listening in. But Illuminati showed up.
Yeah.
They did actually show up, and they mentioned that they were named the Illuminati. So you had...
And they hit hard. This isn't like your everyday Illuminati. They're like, huh, we got you guys.
It's like, you all wanted the Illuminati. We got you with the Illuminati. So you had, of course, the the sorcerer that was from the first movie. I can't remember his name.
Modo.
Yeah.
I can't ever say his name right.
Yeah.
I like to call him Mordor because he's got the one ring to rule them all. That's how I look at it. But this time he's got the dreads to rule them all.
So in the universe where the Illuminati is, first off, the way that this movie goes is that there's a girl named America Chavez who is the Captain America figure in the Young Avengers in the comics.
She's related to Emilio Estevez's character somehow or another. I don't know.
But she's in it. She, of course, has the ability to go in between dimensions. And at first, there's just her and one of the other Doctor Stranges from another universe.
Defender Strange.
Yes, Defender Strange, who is running away from a demon trying to get to a book. You don't know what it is or anything at that point. You just know that they're going after something. And he ends up trying to take her power so that the demon won't go after them anymore. And she teleports into our Doctor Strange's universe and kind of gets caught up in a bunch of stuff there. So then he realizes that this thing is not sorcery type deal. It's more witchy stuff, which is where the Scarlet Witch comes into play. They go to talk to her and they realize, this may not have been a good idea because she's the one that sent the demon after America to get her power so she can go into a universe where her babies were alive.
And apparently gave that guy NyQuil beforehand.
But they escape her by going into another universe. And in this universe, Doctor Strange is dead. You just see a big statue and everything. This was
What was it? World 8? 838.
838, something like that, yeah. They go into that universe, and he's dead. They're trying to convince them that the Scarlet Witch is looking for her. She's going to come and wreck your shit. You need to take care of this. They're like, we need to go talk to the Illuminati. And so, in this world, Modo, whatever his
Frodo.
name is. Yes.
Frodo Swaggins.
You should look that up. He is the Sorcerer Supreme in this universe. And it's him. And then you see their version of Captain Marvel.
No. Captain Carter was first.
Well, you see Captain Carter pop up. So she's in there. And then you see Captain Marvel in their universe.
Which was Monica Rambeau's mother.
Yes.
So
she
nice
is the Captain Marvel from that universe. And then you see Mr. Fantastic himself.
yeah, they're like, and it's Reed, our smartest man in this universe. And everyone's like, oh, it's going to be Superior Iron Man. Nope. Teleports in John Krasinski, Mr. Reed, Mr. Fantastic, all rubber band up. It's awesome.
I was actually very surprised that they got him to do it. Like, I know that was the perfect casting that they wanted to do, but
I'm surprised how fuck it they were about it. They were like, we're gonna lead into this, we're gonna kind of play there, and just like, hey guys, we're the Illuminati, Fantastic Four, what the bitches? Like they were just like, this is happening.
Richards himself. All right.
And then they die.
It's
Baron Mordo.
Yeah, Mordor.
So yes, he is
Mordor.
He is the Doctor Strange in this Illuminati for this one. But then once you get Reed, you get Professor Xavier.
And he comes in like a boss
Oh my God! So you
in
hear
the same color as her MacBook wheelchair with a.
they went full on X-Men animated series from the 90s theme song as he's wheeling in to this group.
Oh, it was so great.
Oh, and Black Bolt. They had him. They had a real nice cast led up for this Illuminati.
And it's full Black Bolt costume too, like with tuning fork and everything, not just I got the black leather jacket and I'm going to accidentally sneeze on the road and blow a car over like some terrible show did.
We don't talk about Inhumans. I was trying to explain to him what the Inhumans show was like, and I was like, no, this Black Bolt, he fine. He looks great. But they were trying to explain to him, it's like, no, this Scarlet Witch is nothing. She's not going to be the biggest threat that we have here. It is you. And apparently, and no matter what universe Doctor Strange is in, he is the worst human being possible and is the thing they should be scared of the most. But
well, I think it's kind of like, I don't think it's that. I think they are scared of him more because they got to be prepared for him. I think he's like Batman of their group. He's making plans to be able to beat every single one of them. He's willing to go to whatever nth degree to win. So even how they're talking about how he was using their Darkhold and getting in more evil power. I think that's really where they're more scared. They weren't necessarily like, Doctor Strange's bad guys. Dr. Strange is like, well, we need to beat this guy. Well, how can we do it? Well, I can take this evil power and use it against this guy and beat him, and then it just slowly gets worse and worse.
Yeah, that's a better rendition of it. So what we had predicted about the Illuminati, of course, they were in it, and they went just balls to the wall on their Illuminati. Did not expect them to just be Reed Richards and all of that, Black Bolt and all that stuff, but that was a big one. Now, we also had said that we think this would be a great opportunity to go into the House of M. I think this is the closest thing we're going to get to the House of M, unfortunately, in this movie.
I think they're going to go a little bit more, too. Because, well, when we get to the ending, but I think they're going to play off on what universe is Magneto her dad? And is he going to be her dad actually in this one, her parents that was in the MCU and whatever world they were in wasn't really her parents, and Magneto was at the time, because it's during past World War II, so he could have been around somewhere throwing Magneto stuff into people. But I don't know, I'm hoping so. I would love to see Magneto be a badass in it and a really good House of M. They've done a good job with what they can with it so far, but you brought Xavier in now, so go and bring in Daddy Magneto.
I think for Wanda in this movie, they went too far too quick. She was at the very end of WandaVision. She had already gone pretty far and changing an entire place for her to have her perfect home and all that stuff. But by the time they get to this movie, like, she has... I know she was corrupted by the book and everything like that. But, like, could the Darkhold book be that strong to where, like, it seems like it's not been that long of a time span between WandaVision and this movie. She was just like, I'm going to kill everyone in my path and everything just because I want to get to my kids. So
one of the things we kind of gleamed over, too, that you learn when they first meet Scarlet Witch is, too, that the monster that was chasing her, America Chavez, and Defender Strange was sent actually by Scarlet Witch through the Darkhold because she could see where she was at. She knows what America Chavez's power is. She's trying to get it for herself. So, I don't know. Like, they make throughout the whole movie talking about how Doctor Strange was getting corrupted by it, how easily it is to get corrupted, like, to get corrupted by the Darkhold. So maybe it's just that's how quickly you get corrupted by it. It's just it's instant because she used it quite a bit in WandaVision, you gotta think, at the end. And, like, she was full-fledged astral planing herself, reading it while drinking tea in the Alps at the end of WandaVision.
That's very true.
So she could be balls deep into it.
Yeah. I mean, it very well could have been, but it just seemed like it was such a huge jump from, like, the end of WandaVision to this. But either way, like, she goes nuts because she wants to go into a universe where her two sons are alive. And once again, everybody's telling her, like Doctor Strange is saying, it's like, your kids aren't real. You're not going to find them, all that stuff. She's like, nope, they're there. Just got to find them. And, like, that is pure House of M right there. Yeah. It's like they all think that she's gone crazy. She's too powerful to have this kind of power, so you need to deal with her. I really was hoping while they were kind of jumping through some of the multiverses when they were running, they would show one where mutants were, like, the normal people in there, but it was too quick to go through all those. But either way. But the House of M, they might do something more. The way that they ended the movie kind of seems like they're not really going to do much with her.
So there's a key saying with all Marvel MCU movies.
If you don't see them
don't see them die, they are not dying. There's that big red flash.
Yes.
So we'll get to it in a little bit.
So basically, once they get into their other universe and whatnot, they're trying to explain to the Illuminati how dangerous this woman is, and the Illuminati is like, we can handle a stupid witch. It's whatever.
Yeah, and they're like, she ain't nothing. Like, it's going to be Salem witch trials. We're going to hang her up, catch her on fire. No big deal. We got this.
Yes. So he's sitting there trying to plead his case while, like, Captain... what's her name?
Carter?
Peggy. Yeah, Carter. Couldn't think of her last name. Captain Carter, Captain Marvel, Black Bolt.
You said Captain, it was like her. I was like, there's two of them. I don't know which one you want me to go with.
Captain Carter. I always just didn't know if her was Peggy. But Captain Carter, Captain Marvel, Black Bolt, and Mr. Fantastic go to deal with her when her version of, or that version of her in that world gets taken over whenever they're dream walking, which is basically you can take over your person in that universe and do what you want with them.
As long as they're in that universe.
Right. So she takes over her version in that universe and tries to go get America Chavez, in which they all are just like, ho ho, look at this. Like, Black Bolt could kill you with, like, a whisper. And she was like, without a mouth?
Yeah,
and
she straight Matrix him.
Oh.
You know, the worst thing, though? Like, they just talked about how that team was the best and smartest in the world. And they literally gave away his one weakness straight to Wanda. Wanda didn't necessarily know who they were, most likely.
I don't think they realized how strong the Scarlet Witch was because I don't think they've ever had to deal with it in their world. So they beat Thanos real easy. Like, if you look at the flashback when they show how they beat Thanos, he's over there impaled, laying there dead, and they're all just there hanging out. So they're probably like, we could beat Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet. Why can't we beat Scarlet Witch?
Yeah.
And then
maybe they've had like an Agatha, but nothing like her. So they've dealt with a witch, but nothing like her.
Yeah, like the way that it shows their Doctor Strange dying in that world is Black Bolt actually goes up and he whispers, I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry.
And just like, he just disintegrates. So they're like, our Black Bolt can take care of you with a whisper, so, that's not a problem. She's like, without a mouth, and his mouth disappears, and when his mouth disappears, the first thing that he wants to do is scream. So he screams, there's nowhere for that to go. His head implodes on itself.
Yeah. It was awesome. Like, you literally saw it. Like, it was like, head, gone.
So that took care of him real easily. Mr. Fantastic, he goes up and he's like, look, I get it. It is what it is. And she asks the question, like, or he says he's married and all that stuff. She's like, do you have kids? And he was like, I do. She's like, is your wife still alive? And he's like, she is. Like, good. So there's someone to take care of your kids when you die. And he starts doing his thing, like stretching out and whatnot. And she just unravels him and he dies.
Yeah, I was like, Jim, no!
You were in it for so short a time.
And this is why I guess like the chaos magic is so hated, because that's what Agatha wanted. She was like necromantic almost, but this was a different type of magic, and it's just like it always leads to chaos and destruction.
Well, yeah, it's
that's why it corrupted her, I guess.
a dark hold.
So what's really nice about that though too is, so with them mentioning Reed Richards' kids and whatnot, really leads another to Kang again, which I don't know when he's supposed to show up. I know there was going to be Quantumanium was going to be the thing, but then they switched dates with. Was it the Marvels now got changed to what the Quantumania was going to come out, and they swapped those dates?
So, yeah, from what I've heard, the Guardians of the Galaxy 3, he's going to be in it. I don't know how much, but I think they're either going to announce him in that one or announce him in the Quantumanium, and then whichever one he's a little bit in, the other movie is going to be where he's in it. And I thought it was Guardians of the Galaxy 3 where they were going to actually have him show up. But either way, it's going to either be the Quantumania or the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 where Kang actually like makes his big appearance. And then they're going to have Secret Wars, and they're going to have like the Kang the Conqueror thing go down and all that stuff. So they mentioned that he has kids, which one of the versions of Kang the Conqueror is like the great son of Reed Richards. So there was a hint of that, which is cool.
Yeah.
But like, they all die. They go after them. The long story short, they get the book. I can't remember the name of the book.
Book of Ashante.
Ashante. They get that book, and they plan on doing stuff with that. That doesn't go very well. It gets destroyed. And so she basically gets America. She's going to take her power, and Doctor Strange gets stuck in a different universe, which shows a different Doctor Strange who had the Darkhold book and had done things with it. So they fight. And I
don't know if he did things with it. Like the way he was kind of talking, like
he took care of it.
He was taking care of it and like protecting it, and like it just seeped into him almost.
Maybe, but he said it like it does things to you, and like Doctor Strange was like, I don't care about that. He's like, no, to the user.
Yeah.
So he hints at the fact that like that's a bad book, but the fight that they showed when it goes between that Doctor Strange and the Doctor Strange. I know I was talking to Tara about it whenever we had left out, and it broke my heart when we were talking about it, because she was like, yeah, I don't understand why they did that.
She did not like it.
And she's like, it's dumb. And I was just like, oh, I don't know if we could talk about this now. Oh, it was so cool. So
it's going to be hit and miss for people. I thought it was neat, but I can see where people's like, it's dumb.
So at some point, Doctor Strange gets thrown into a piano, and the sheet music gets flown, and he's like, you know what? I'm going to use the notes on the sheet music to attack. So they're using the music, and they use Beethoven's Fifth Symphony and stuff like that, like in the background. I thought it was epic. But
I look at Amber, and she is like old school American Indian crying when they're littering on the beach, just single tear, just.
It was beautiful. I liked it. I thought it was great. But like they fight, he wins, and basically does the same thing, like does the sleepwalking or the dream walking,
but with his dead self.
Yes, the Defender Strange that came in with America, they hid previously, and he just like who says they need to be alive, and takes over the dead body, and goes and basically gives a pep talk to America, saying, "You can control your powers. Do it, girl. I got this."
So here's another place where I kind of go off on one of my tangents thinking. So when he took the body over, you had all those demons come out talking about how it's, against nature of life to take over a dead body.
Yes,
it's forbidden.
it's
and you see all these demons trying to take them. I have a feeling that's how they're going to bring either Nightmare or Mephisto in for that. He broke some kind of rule, some kind of law of nature, and now Mephisto or someone's going to come get Doctor Strange, and that's how they're going to bring him into this, because he broke that law. So now that opens that gateway of them coming after Strange as not just like they're a bad guy coming after him, that he did something that they have to avenge and take care of and come after him.
I would say I have not seen anything on Mephisto.
Or you send Ghost Rider after him.
I'd be
and
totally
that's
fine
how
by
you
that.
get Ghost Rider in the MCU.
And I mean, who better than Nicolas Cage? I'm sure.
John Travolta, and it's like a face-off situation all over
Oh
again.
God.
No, it can only be Nicolas Cage. Only
It's
Nicolas
John
Cage.
Travolta acting like Nicolas Cage as Ghost Rider.
Face off Rider.
Face Rider.
Face Rider. But long story short, the pep talk works. America is able to control her powers. So she was like, I'm going to give you what you want. So she opens up a portal where the two kids are sitting there on the couch. And she comes in, she's like, oh, my boys. And they're terrified of her.
And it's the same one that she dream walked into that killed all the Illuminati, too.
Yeah. So it's the same universe where the Illuminati and everything were. They're terrified. They see this version of this woman. And she's like, no, I would never hurt you. I'd never kill anybody. And it's like, oh, but you did. And you've done it a lot. And her version of her in that universe kind of goes up to her and gently caresses her cheek. And she's like, they'll be well taken care of here and loved.
Shh. Quiet now. Quiet. Just die.
It's okay, but leave my kids alone. But like, she finally realizes that what she's done, like the kids wouldn't want that. She's a monster. She's become like this awful thing. So she backs out and she's like, I'm the one that opened the Darkhold. I'm the one that's got to shut it. You all run. I'll do this. And the whole place where they were fighting at the end crashes down. You see this flash of red, and it's assumed that she dies in the wreckage.
She got her ass out of there.
Well, I'm sure that little red poof was her getting somewhere.
Yeah.
But that's the movie.
We left out quite a bit of some stuff. We don't want to spoil everything for you because we could have went in a lot in more detail about some stuff. But I got one favorite part in it. We'll go ahead and kind of... Amber, what was your favorite part of the whole movie?
God, I want to say the music scene, but like...
I bet you it's going to be the same scene I'm thinking of.
Is it Bruce Campbell?
100%.
Oh my God, yeah. So... As everybody knows, it's a Sam Raimi film. If you've ever seen a Sam Raimi film, there's gonna be a Bruce Campbell scene in there somewhere.
Yeah.
And his did not disappoint whatsoever.
It was so good.
Both
times.
Both times. There are two scenes at the end, so if you do go and see it, you do have to wait at the very ending, but hopefully you're not watching this and wanting to go see it, because guess what? Spoilers. Mentioned it before. But... there's two scenes at the end. The first one you see is the serious one, which we'll get into.
Yeah.
And then the second one is Bruce Campbell in the movie. Something happens, and then he looks at the screen and goes, it's over! And then it's just done.
He's still punching himself. And he's like, it's the end! And then that's it.
Yeah. So it's Bruce Campbell at his finest. And I think a lot of people are saying, like critics are saying it's okay. Some are saying it's great. Some saying it's not so great. I have a feeling, and I was telling him about this yesterday after we went to go and see it, if you don't like Sam Raimi films, you're probably not going to like this film, because Sam Raimi has a very unique way of doing things. I love Sam Raimi for his, like, the camera angles that he uses.
Yeah.
They're amazing, and you're going to get a lot of that. You're going to get some weird moments.
It made Dead Doctor Strange look awesome. Like, it was some of the best, like, zombied out makeup you can think
Yeah.
of.
If you've ever seen
And
Evil
it fits
Dead.
Evil Dead 100% to the T.
Yeah, if any of them, the newer one, the older one, like Ash versus Evil, like any of those.
That and Wanda coming out of the mirror.
Yes.
Very
Or she's
contorted.
like, there's a point in there where
rings it.
Yeah, she has to like walk through something that has like a reflective surface, and her body cracks and is just crumbling. If anyone else would have done it, it would not have looked as cool. But like Sam Raimi did it, therefore the effects and everything were amazing for the dead body, for the demons, and anything that involved that stuff looked amazing. So, but again, Sam Raimi has a certain way of doing things. He did Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3 with Tobey Maguire. He did the Evil Dead movies, the old and the new one.
Drag Me to Hell.
Drag Me to Hell. He did
Yep, he did It's a really good movie.
Oh, the Hercules and the Xena shows. Like he did those shows. So if you've seen any of those, there's a specific way he likes to do things. It works.
I'm really sad there wasn't like a Herc shake somewhere in that movie then.
I mean, you don't know. Were we paying that close attention?
Like it was just her and like him and America Chavez was like, and then portal opens.
Oh God, that would have been great. What was Hercules' the guy that helped him?
I don't remember.
It wasn't
The little
Achilles.
blonde guy?
Yeah, it's a little blonde guy.
He was like Petros,
I
which
did
is
not,
just Greek for Patrick.
I didn't realize because I was trying to tell somebody at work that Sam Raimi did it, and he's like, I've never seen a Sam Raimi film in my life. And I was like, you're an idiot, first off. Second off, like, have you ever seen any of the Hercules series? So I was trying to look it up. They did a Young Hercules series.
Oh, yeah.
I did not realize that was, oh my God, I just had his name. The guy that was in La La Land, the spoon feeding guy who always turns away.
Ryan Gosling?
Ryan Gosling.
Was it really?
Young Hercules was played by Ryan Gosling. It was on the cover, and I was like, oh my God,
That's
this his
awesome.
first film?
That's amazing.
I'm going to have to go back and watch that. But either way, it was done by Sam Raimi, so I feel like some of the people that are giving it a bad rep don't like the way Sam Raimi does things. Like, there's a scene where Doctor Strange's watch, he's trying to work on it, and it shows the inside of the clock where you see a little bit of the pieces turning and moving, and he's fixing it, and is like, to me, that's an amazing camera angle. But it's a Sam Raimi film, so you're expected with those types of angles. And I feel like the people that say that they don't like it so much also don't like Sam Raimi's way of doing films. So,
I liked it a lot.
yes.
I do have a negative with it, and I'm worried it's gonna be. Hopefully, I think it's gonna be fixed with Thor. But Spider-Man: No Way Home, really even going into like Loki, WandaVision, even what was the last one? Moon Knight. Mm-hmm. There's not been a real big presence of a real bad guy. You know what I mean? Spider-Man from No Way Home was no new bad guys. It was all the same ones, and they all became good almost at the end of it. They were like, we want to not die. We're going to be Boy Scouts. Yay! Dumb. And then, like even like Loki, like, yeah, you had Kang, but, he was only in it for like that last episode. Nothing really major happened. You go to WandaVision, you get some people, but there was no big bad guy, and it was still just Wanda, really. And you had some people setting up possible future stuff with like the Marvels. And then even Moon Knight, like, you didn't really have a huge bad guy. Like, you had the god come out and play, and she was all alligatored up, and they fought in Egypt, but there was no huge, like, I really was expecting kind of Gore to show up at the end of Moon Knight and maybe kill one of the gods, but didn't show up. And then, even now, Doctor Strange, the bad guy was really Wanda.
Yeah.
And then even then, when it, like, wanted to stop being the bad guy, it was just like, Wanda touched my face, it's okay now, and we're good. So, like, I'm hoping that's not something that's going to keep happening until Kang shows, that these movies are going to have a good payoff, have a good bad guy, because they really haven't yet.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of going like DC route of some of the, like, endings where it's, I know. But it's like how it's like how they have some endings, like when frickin' Batman versus Superman. Oh, your mom has the same name? Oh, cool.
Martha's Day.
Martha's Day. It's not Mother's Day, it's Martha Day. No, I agree with that one to an extent. I thought there were supposed to be 8 episodes of Moon Knight.
No, there's only 6.
Cool. So that was the ending. All right. That's another thing while we're here. I finished Moon Knight the other night, and I was texting him to let him know that I had finally caught up so we could talk about it at the end of this. I don't think we were watching the same show. At all.
I don't think you was watching the same show as anyone else who watched the show, because all the stuff I was bringing up, everyone else was like, yeah, I caught that. And he was like, oh my God.
I did not catch any. So I was 2 episodes behind, unfortunately. And so I was texting him, letting him know that I had finished it. And it was like, I liked it. I liked the ending. So for those of you who have not seen Moon Knight, Jake, the taxi driver, badass guy, comes into play on the last episode. Spoiler. But
she thought he came into play on the last episode.
Put it that way. I saw him in the limo and I was like, oh. So whenever we were texting, I was like, yeah, I'm so glad they finally brought in Jake. And he was like, yeah, I wish they would have shown him the first time that they had, like, hinted at him. And I was like, what do you mean the first time they hinted at him? He was like, when they were fighting and they blacked out and didn't know what happened.
Everything was dead when they woke up.
I was like, oh my God, that makes so much sense now. And going into this, I was like, yeah, this and that. He's like, yeah. They also, like, whenever he had, like, his nose was broken or whatever when they first came in, and then it was healed. And all that stuff was like, there was that. There was the fact that there were 3 coffins and only 2 of them woke up, and, like, all sorts of stuff. And I was just like,
yeah, so I was kind of explaining to her.
Mind blown.
they really set off that first episode where Mark and Steven, when they would change between each other, you would just see their eyes roll, and then they would be one or the other. But every now and then they would both black out, and you won't know what happened. They come back, and there's a new scene. I was like, every time that happened, that was Jake. And then there was an episode, like episode 2 or 3, he's got his little cabbie hat on, and then Mark wakes up, and he takes it off and moves. She missed that.
I thought he just had a fancy hat on when he blacked out. Maybe he found it and put it on.
And then, like I said, we saw Steven in the sarcophagus. He opens it up, gets Steven out. Mark and Steven run around the asylum together. They open one door. There's a red and black sarcophagus that's shaken. But they just kind of like, oh no. Kool-Aid Man back out of the room of it. And never say anything to it again.
I thought that was just like...
another patient in his asylum.
No, I didn't think there was anybody in it. Like, because the whole thing, like, it's a huge white building. Like, every room is white. Everything's white and black in there. And then they open that door, and there's a sarcophagus that looks like Egyptian. And I was thinking that they were using that to show, like, this place isn't real. Like...
oh, I thought you just because it was rocking. You was like, if it's rocking, don't come and knock it. And they was like, okay.
No, I seriously thought that it was just like, oh, there's a weird Egyptian sarcophagus that's standing straight up and shaken, like... maybe this place isn't what we think it is, and they close the door and keep walking. And then when you point all that stuff out, I was like,
yeah,
man, I should really rewatch the show and actually pay attention this time, because clearly I missed everything.
I really like that they went through and did like the blackouts, but I really wish that last episode where, you know, he blacks out and then they wake up in the, you know, what is it, Ruby Scarlet or Scarab was like, what was that? And everyone knew in the room that another Moon Knight showed up and killed everybody and beat everybody, but we didn't. We saw that everything beat, so we didn't know. And then post-credit scene, Jake Lotley's in there, shoots the guy. But I really wish they would at least shown that last fight scene as Jake Lotley in his Moon Knight suit fighting, and like showed that's what happened. And then leave the rest blank for like the next season where they can have like flashbacks to what he was doing at that time and stuff. But I don't know, it was a little bit of a bummer for me, but
I think they've done a really good job with the TV shows. I actually enjoy the TV shows probably more than the movies anymore. Like, I've been rewatching Daredevil because it's on Disney Plus, and like, I like
Daredevil and Punisher a lot. The other one's not so much. Even Luke Cage was okay.
Luke Cage was okay. Iron Fist we don't talk about.
Heroes for Hire has always been garbage, so it makes sense.
But I loved Iron Fist in the comics, and then when I saw like they were going to do that, I was like,
I like the man with the Iron Fist, which is RZA. In that cheap kung fu movie he made, but other than that,
no,
I don't like.
Jessica Jones was okay whenever David Tennant played the Purple Man. Like, I liked that episode, that season, but past that, like, Daredevil by far was the one that like succeeded the most on those. But I love those, and I thought that this Doctor Strange was a really good movie. Of course, the soundtrack to me was amazing. Danny Elfman came back through and did those. He did the Spider-Man movies, so. Of course, he's going to fit really well with the whole Sam Raimi superhuman or superhero thing. But we had technically 4 people that went with us.
Yeah.
And one was like, it's okay. I got depressed and was like, it's okay. And then, like, that was about it. There were people who walked out and they were just kind of like, meh. There were people that walked out that were like, oh, that was really cool. I thought it was a really cool movie. I thought it was really well done for what it was. I think they could have done more with the Scarlet Witch in that, but I think that they really tried to do a House of M style with it, her being like crazy about her kids, wanting her kids, and changing the universe to fit her. I
do also gotta say that, like, the special effects kind of weren't great. Like, his third eye, I wanted to poke so bad. Like, the whole time, every time it came up, I was like, just poke that shit. Just stab it.
Yeah, for being 2022, and them doing so many movies and stuff like that, like, there were some parts of that where it was kind of lacking on the CG and stuff like that. I
would have laughed if they would just done, like, Thor's, like, cybernetic eye that he gets, and when it's, like, spinning around, getting adjusted, that's what it's doing. Just, I'd be like, all right, I'm good with that.
So, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, but I think they wrapped up pretty good as far as like with Doctor Strange and all that stuff. Now the serious end cutscene, I was a little confused with that one at first, but I also didn't realize who they were supposed to be like pulling into it.
Yeah, me neither. So I had to look that up.
Yeah, so afterwards I googled it myself to see like who were they hinting at the very end.
It was Charlize Theron.
It is Clea.
Yeah, Clea Strange.
And she is so Dormammu, which was the main big baddie in the first movie, has a sister, and the sister has a child, and that is her.
Yeah,
And,
Umara.
Yes. And
Dormaro and they almost sound the same.
Dormammu.
Dumama.
Dumama. So she comes in and she's like, "You basically created a time paradox. You got to fix it." And like opens up this thing, and then the middle of the street.
Not open it. She literally like cuts through like reality to go to the dark world or dark universe, dimension, whatever it is. But she's just like whoosh, 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 and cuts it open
in the middle of the street.
It's like a freaking Ash from Apex Legends, where she can cut through time with her sword.
Sure, I don't play Apex as much as you all do. You Apex weeaboos.
What? It's just a game. It's not even weeaboo.
But I think that like for that one, she's hinting at he needs to go into this dark world and fix this problem in which he has created himself. So of course that leaves it open for a Doctor Strange 3 or some sort of thing that they'll do with some sort of project in the future. What that project might be.
Yeah.
I don't know. Thank you. Yes.
You are correct.
Yes. But my point is that I think they did as close as they're going to do with the House of M. We're not probably going to get too much on that one. Like, they brought in Professor Xavier, but he also died in there.
Everybody died.
Of old age.
He went into her mind and got like real deep and found the actual Wanda from that universe kind of like hidden somewhere. He's like, you got to get out of here. Like,
he's like, Wanda, make it so. And then he croaked out.
Make it so, Wanda. Like,
Make it so, Wanda Maximoff.
So he's like trying to get her out, and then like the bad Wanda from the universe we're used to,
Wanda,
like
Banda.
pops in there.
Badong.
Wandbad, yes, Badong, Gnawdab. The bad wrong Wanda creates this big red cloud, and like he's looking back like, you gotta get out of here like now, and she pops up behind him and is like, no, and like cracks his neck, and so he dies. So technically they showed these people in the universe though, so just like they did with them, every Doctor Strange, while like some of them had more gray hair, they were wearing of course different clothes, they were all there, they were played by the same actor.
I'm going to burst your bubble here.
Oh, no.
So, I think Black Bolt and Xavier was more fanfare.
Fan service, yeah.
But because I say this, let's go to Loki. How many different Lokis were there that wasn't played by the same actor in those multiverses? And they even showed a lot of different Lokis that were even in the show on like the screen. You had one that looked like the Incredible Hulk. You had Kid Loki. The black Loki that had like the piston one.
OG Loki?
Yeah, OG Loki. So like, I think Xavier's going to be in it. I think Black Bolt will be in it. But I think it was more, hey, we messed these up in really crappy versions of X-Men movies. And then we really messed up this guy in this really terrible TV show we're not going to talk about. So
we didn't do a show about the Inhumans. But if we did, we need to show you this.
And then like John Krasinski, I think it was too big of a fanfare to not be reused, so I can see him coming back. I have a feeling we're going to see Captain Marvel in the Marvels, and I don't mean like her mom, I mean this Captain Marvel going into that universe with all three Marvels. So with Captain Marvel, that Marvel, and then Photon.
I saw some theories because I was just looking up afterwards since I didn't get to watch the movie. Especially since you're right, I doubt that he's going to be, Mr. Fantastic's going to be not used now, especially that actor. They're thinking that the kids, because Invisible Woman is his wife, and I forget the kid's name, that's most likely who it is in this universe. So while he may not still have a role, he's definitely going to bring his family into it. There's this hope. We're hoping, at least.
See, I thought they were going to have a Fantastic Four movie that was actually done by Marvel.
Yeah, and I think it's come out. It's either after Blade or before Blade. We still got a really long time before that even. John Watts just bowed out as being the director of Fantastic Four, so they don't have a director currently. But they think that he might be doing another movie sooner. Like, you know how they swapped Marvels and Quantum Manor? Like, maybe he's working on something that's going to be sooner.
Yeah.
So they can work on it, but I don't know. John Krasinski as Fantastic, like Mr. Fantastic, I'm cool with.
Yeah, I liked him in that.
I don't really give a shit who they cast in the Fantastic Four, but if they fuck up Doctor Doom for a third fucking time, I will literally go find someone in Marvel and stab them until I can't stab them no more. This is the one bad guy.
If somebody from Marvel actually gets stabbed a bunch of times, it's not us.
Yeah.
It's all the other angry fans.
But for real, like, I got Thanos, and he was still... I got my problems with him. He had reason behind his madness. Doesn't make sense to me. But Doctor Doom, damn it. I don't want some goddamn cheap plastic surgeon Doctor Doom. And then I don't want... I'm the internet Doctor Doom. Dumbest versions ever. So, like, let's get a good Doctor Doom that's just a badass, and let's make that Black Panther 2. Let's let him take over Wakanda, get access to Vibranium, become a real big badass. Let's do that. And I'll be happy.
See, I didn't get mine. I wanted Civil War to be better than what it was.
You got it. You got all the Civil War in a movie.
I got Civil War, but they should have done it after Thanos, because that... Well, not after.
Have you seen the movie Glory? That's about Civil War. It's got Denzel Washington in it. He cries a little bit while he's getting whipped. They all die at the end.
Now, fam. I think once, like, the whole Thanos thing happened and they were, like, trying to figure out stuff when everybody disappeared, I think that would have been the perfect opportunity to go into Civil War.
Yeah, because then you would be like, well, we need to know who's got the capabilities of doing this.
Yep.
Or even wait until you brought Professor Xavier in so you can start getting these, like, super powerful, like, oh, we actually have a mutant now that can put things in your thoughts and make you think certain ways.
Yes.
We have Magneto, who is one of the strongest mutants of all time. Like, we got these people who are coming in that are super powerful instead of just like, I mean, we got Thor, we got Hulk. But you don't have, like, the heavy hitters who become, like, insanely tough or super powerful. Like, you know, you don't got the possibility of Onslaught coming out yet or anything like that.
See, I don't even know, like, because in all these movies, including the Doctor Strange one, they said that they're going to be doing the Secret War. There would have been the perfect opportunity, because in the House of M, which is kind of what they were doing with her character, that is the whole thing. Like, that's happening during the House of M in the comics, because there's someone playing as Hawkeye,
right,
and there's someone playing as, which we don't have, Spider-Woman, and they go into this universe and they're supposed to forget who they are and everything, and then, like, she went in there and found the Hawkeye or whatever, because he's technically dead in the real world, and he was like, oh my god, I died. Oh my god, I'm dying. He's like, no, you are a Skrull agent. You're here, supposed to be like the Hawkeye, and we're trying to, like, get into them and infiltrate. But there has been no mention of Secret War.
I don't think Secret War is going to come in movie form. I think it's all Disney Plus shows.
Yeah, I think it is Disney Plus shows, but there's no hint at it.
There is. There's been one place in all the shows that has been mentioned. That's Madripoor. It was in Moon Knight. It was in Loki. It was in Falcon and Winter Soldier. They actually went to Madripoor.
I didn't actually watch.
And then I'm pretty positive it was mentioned on a screen in WandaVision as well. Like, they physically, like, they go to Madripoor, like, you know, where you see... What was the movie where you see Wong get punched by an abomination? Was that a movie, or was that Captain or American or Winter Soldier and Falcon?
It may have been that, because
it may have been. It's been so long since I've seen all the older movies.
So the TV shows all mention Madripoor. So it's either two things are going to happen. I think with that, that's where the Secret Wars are slowly going to be going. Is there, because you got the Power Broker there running shit. Mm-hmm. It was Shang-Chi would mention it, and that was in that movie. They go to Madripoor. His sister, basically, in that movie, takes over Madripoor almost, it looks like she's taking over where the Power Broker left, and she's taking kind of over. So, like, it's slowly, like, they're making Madripoor a real big deal. So either I'm expecting this is where we're going to see Wolverine pop up as Patch, the bartender, in Madripoor one day, and that's how we're going to get our first Wolverine sighting. Or they're building up everything that's building up there, and they're going to have Skrull agents inside Madripoor, and they'll be doing a lot of that stuff. That's where I think it's going to happen.
I would love to have Wolverine in a movie again.
Because none of the Disney Plus shows have really been huge for the movies that they're messing with, except for Loki. Loki had Kang in it.
Yeah.
And I guess Wanda, Loki could be playing into Spider-Man, No Way Home, and Multiverse by them breaking stuff, but
it's not obvious.
it's not been like super big.
Yeah.
Like this is gonna dramatically change the movies.
Yeah. That's true.
And one last thing I saw too. This is I feel like it's almost kind of stretching it, but I guess it just depends on how they're going to handle the X-Men universe now that they can use some of it in Marvel. Some people even said that this one, Wanda, and this Doctor Strange is kind of like a hybrid of Wanda and the Dark Phoenix, kind of, because in a way it's just acknowledging that she kind of that power that exists, but they're not going to have Jean Grey in any movies or any of the content really going forward.
But can you do the Dark... Well, we don't talk about the Dark Phoenix movie.
Well, can you do X-Men without... Like, can you do Cyclops and Wolverine fun without Jean Grey being in, like,
No.
both their love interest?
No. I was about to say Emma Stone. But Emma, Emma Frost, though, like... She was in the X-Men movies back in the...
Yeah, let's not talk about that.
Yeah,
First
well-
Class. She was in First Class and then X-Men Wolverine Origins, both movies.
Yeah.
And they both did a terrible job with her.
It's very true. But, like, she actually gets with Cyclops at some point, so they can do that. But, I mean...
It's kind of a thing, though, how much are they going to even use X-Men? Because, I mean, it could be just something where they just kind of plop some things in to kind of tie it in, but not really make any direct shows about
They
it.
are making an X-Men...
Animated, though, right?
Yeah, one of the things that they've talked about was going to be like a callback to the 90s cartoon X-Men. So...
X-Men has too much for them not to do. Like, you're missing out on so much if you're not going to do X-Men. And then why bring Xavier into Doctor Strange, even for fan service, if you're never going to touch the X-Men?
I wonder if it's going to be like... They're going to let Marvel run a little farther, and then they're going to start going more into X-Men. Because I feel like people are going to... I know some people already are, but we're going to kind of get burnt out on Marvel content eventually because there's so much coming out. So they might switch it up to like other universes.
No, because they haven't Star Wars'd it yet. Star Wars, they are literally beating a dead horse beyond the ability of beating a dead horse.
Please watch this.
Like, at least the Mandalorian's been good, but everything else I've not been interested in watching. Like, even the Obi-Wan series that's coming up, like, I'm going to watch it.
Yeah.
I'm going to be disappointed. Because what I really want is I just want
Maul.
a Vader trilogy where he's hunting down Jedi and just badass killing people left and right with no mercy and using all of his force powers and just being a badass. Basically, that minute 20 scene in Rogue One. I want 3 movies.
I mean, he even, like, Star Wars Force Unleashed back in the day was like, oh, he pulls down a Star Destroyer. So did Darth Vader.
You're Darth Vader, and you're just beating the shit out of people. You're just like, Force lightning, Force this. You just cut people in half, and then the game's like, oh, now you got to start with no powers and work your way back. I'm like, well, that sucks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even Darth Vader even pulled his starship on his own down. But it's just like, yeah, it would be cool for that. But
the guy from Kingsman, Taron Egerton or whatever, has like officially, Marvel even said that they've been talking to him for a role, and he's been hinted at being the new Logan, the new Wolverine. So like, I'm pretty positive that they are doing X-Men, and I got a pretty good feeling it's going to happen way quicker than we think it's going to. Then bringing Professor Xavier in, like, I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm a feeling they're going to have to do new Xavier, though.
Thor next.
Then it's, I think...
the Marvels.
That might be... The Marvel show I thought was going to be...
The Marvels is a movie.
The movie, yeah, but the girl, the Miss Marvel or whatever I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that might be the Miss.
Well, do you think if they do X-Men, do you think they're going to use the younger, like Michael Fassbender and what's his name, First Class, the young?
Hey, I don't remember his name in that one. But
do you think they're going to use them, or they're going to use all new actors if they bring them in?
I hope it's a mixture, because there are some people who play the role really well that I want. Like, I would love to see young Professor Xavier, young Magneto back in it. Like, give me James McAvoy, give me Fassbender, 100% back as those characters. The guy who played Cyclops, I'm good with. Mm-hmm. Everyone else can be changed. Actually, the guy who played the newest Nightcrawler was solid. Like, that's the only good part of the Dark Phoenix I'll talk about is Nightcrawler. He was great. Other than that,
I feel like Ian McKellen and
He's
just
too old.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
he's done with all this.
Michael Fassbender and
really
them,
good.
like they're perfectly fine with the way that they did it in First Class. I thought was great.
I want Fraser back as the Beast, though. I don't want the kid who played the young Beast. I want Fraser back.
No, yeah,
Because Fraser's awesome.
the first 3 movies with Beast, like he is Beast. He's great. As much as like we should really like Jennifer Lawrence because she's a native of Louisville.
I can't stand her crying scream face, so no, I'm out.
I did not like her. Please don't watch this.
Other than that, I don't mind her, but I can't stand her crying face.
Louisville. We're here in Louisville. I didn't like her mystique very well. Like,
Yeah, but they didn't. I don't know if that's her fault, though. I think that's how they said her Mystique, her Charles Xavier best friends growing up and shit.
yeah, that's so not even like she doesn't age like everyone else does. In fact, like they brought Nightcrawler in those movies when she was there, and I'm like, that's your baby.
Yeah.
Like, how are we doing this? Like, that's supposed to be your kid with
Same thing with
Mephisto.
First Class, too. You have Cyclops' little brother in First Class before Cyclops is an X-Men. I'm like, what the shit?
Yeah, like it's not the right timing and whatnot, but whatever. It is what it is. But like, long story short, it's a good movie. Go see it. It's definitely worth a watch. There are some things that are weird about it. There's some things that are kind of okay.
Some 1990 CG, maybe.
But it's a good movie, and I think like overall we hit the mark basically on the head with like the Illuminati and all that stuff. Like House of M, it was pretty darn close. It wasn't like the story it was in the comics, but it was very close to what it was. So
I wonder if it's just because of timing, since they really couldn't pull in all the X-Men yet.
I mean, to be fair, they would have had to pull in a lot of X-Men. Like,
It would just have to be a lot of introduction.
They had not touched on like Magneto's relationship with them because in this world they didn't have that. Had they done it in the other one,
but in House of M too, didn't Mephisto fake create her kids? It wasn't she created them; he created them, and then they were able at the end of House of M to make them real people.
At the very end of it, I don't remember there being the 2 kids.
I thought she was able to use, because Mephisto created the kids, make her think she had kids, right?
That I don't remember.
And then they were able to create those into real people, and that's how she got her kids in one version, I thought.
See, I just reread House of M to like get myself back into it. Okay, I just read it to get back into it, just in case Doctor Strange like touched on it again. For the very beginning of House of M, it shows. I want to say it was Doctor Strange. Like, she has this image in her head where she's giving birth, and Doctor Strange gets one of the babies, like, congratulations, it's a baby boy. And she's like, oh, yay. And then there's nothing.
He's like, it's a baby boy, because his hands are all messed up, so he's just shaking it, and then he gives the baby shaking baby syndrome and dies.
But, like, they show that. But, like,
Oh, he's a slippery one.
She's being held by Professor Xavier and Magneto, and Professor Xavier's kind of keeping her mind back so she doesn't destroy the world, but she's still grieving from the fact that her kids aren't real.
Right.
And so they have a meeting with the Avengers and everything, because she was an Avenger. They were like, you all have a say in this too, but we need to kill her. And they thought throughout the whole thing it was Magneto who told her, like, make this world, because they made it to where the mutants and everything were like the top of the food chain instead of normal humans. And so they're like, we got to get to meet Magneto.
Magneto. So neato.
Magneto. They thought that it was him, so they went to go find him, and lo and behold, it was actually Pietro, Quicksilver, who whispered in her ears, like, fuck them all. Make a place that's cool. And so she did, and then, like, at the very end of it, they did what they had to do with her. And
I like that exact quote from the storyline.
Fuck them all. Do it.
Make it cool.
Make it cool.
Give me a really big, cool Ferris wheel in my front yard. I'm on it.
But it's like she turns it into that, and so then, like, all the mutants and everything there, like, top of the food chain, the humans are kind of like meh. But then by the end of it, you know, Magneto's like, we got to do what we got to do, so they do it. And so, like, It doesn't say anything about Mephisto making the kids. It just shows that she has the 2 kids. They're not real.
I may not be thinking right, but I'm pretty positive there's one version where the kids that... It may be after House of M that he uses what she experienced in House of M to redo it again, and then they're able to actually make those kids real from his version.
Because they are real, because the one turns into...
Wiccan and the...
It's Speed.
Yeah.
Wiccan and Speed are actual
Thunder
kids.
Thighs.
They're actual kids because the Young Avengers and everything, like, they are in that, and Wiccan gets with the Hulkling and Speed. So...
Speed.
Speed is Speed. So, like, they are real at some point.
Speed
but
boost.
Yeah.
in this, they were not real. They made them up. But in other universes, they were real.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They got to be real because they are heavy going Young Avengers.
Yeah. Yeah,
so,
they are.
like...
I mean, you got America.
You got Hawkeye, you got Miss Marvel,
you got Kate
America.
Hudson, yeah.
So you got Speed and Wiccan. Like, you got 7 of them.
Well, they also showed, I don't remember what she calls herself because it's a weird name, but Ant-Man, his kid, turns into somebody.
Tiny Ant-Man.
Yeah, Tiny Ant-Man. Well, she grows. She go big.
Oh, so she's giant Ant-Man.
Yeah. But, like, you have her, and then Iron Lad is a part of the event. He's the one that makes the Young Avengers. Yeah. But Iron Lad is actually Kang the Conqueror from a different universe, and he goes and takes this kid and, like, tries to get them to stop him from doing the bad stuff and creates the Young Avengers. So I feel like they've already said that Kang is part of this. Young Avengers is absolutely going to be a thing.
And they added the kid actor from Iron Man 3 to Tony Stark's funeral.
Yes.
For no reason whatsoever.
Yes. Well, then they're also doing a show for Iron Man, like Iron Heart or whatever.
Armory Wars.
Yes.
Which I hope it's just like BattleBots, because that's what it sounds like to me. Just a whole bunch of robot remote control cars going after each other. And just got the cartoon theme song, just Iron Man.
So they're definitely going to be doing something with Young Avengers. I hope, if they happen to do something with Mephisto, that's kind of also going to be in there because they've shown young Loki.
Yeah.
They've shown Kid Loki, which in the Journey into...
Loki.
Yeah, Kid Loki. Yeah. So Journey into Mysteries, it's a weird way they do it, but Kid Loki is in that, and he joins the Young Avengers at some point, and Mephisto is part of that. So, like... Please, Marvel, I'm begging you, Kid Loki, Journey into Mysteries. I love that.
Kill
it's my
him
favorite comic. No. I love
Vote
Loki.
for killing off Kid Loki.
No. Do not vote for that. I love Loki. I love
do that through this whole podcast. We're just like, just things come up.
I'll make it happen. But I feel like that's the way that they're going as far as like the Marvel Universe. They wrapped up everything that they basically did except for that little cutscene at the end of Doctor Strange pretty well. They should have shown somewhere, just like in the background, Spider-Man at some point, just to be like, hey, look, there he is, in the back when he's walking or something. But overall, if you were going to give it like out of 10, I'd say it's probably a 7 or 8 out of 10. It was pretty good. There were some things that were lacking, but I think that it was like really good. And the way they did it was kind of a nice refresher course, a refresher from what they've done with some of the other movies recently. So I liked it. It was good.
Yeah.
What would you give it?
I'll give it like a solid 8 crippled fingers out of 10.
Rude.
He's got crippled fingers. It fits the thing.
So 7.9?
No, I mean, it's still like the full-fledged like 8 fingers, but they're just like kind of like this.
So rude. Doctor Strange doesn't deserve that. You didn't see it, so unfortunately. What would you give it?
You know, it's actually kind of interesting since I'm on the outside and I don't know the exact of it.
How many dream walks would you give it
Yeah,
for
you
the
go.
other version of you that you slept into to watch it in that universe?
Slept with or into?
Into. You got way into it.
Oh, okay. I would say, from what I'm hearing from you guys say, I would give it like a 7 because... I would give it a 7 because I feel that fan service with the Doctor or Mr. Fantastic and all these other characters coming in was a really great and cool part. Black Bolt, but if I feel like I wonder if they were trying to like speed through some storylines or like fast track onto another place. Like if they're going to skip House of M or whatever, I feel like they're really trying to. I think Doctor Strange is kind of like covering. It's just like, all right, we're going to go ahead and make sure you guys know that this isn't going to happen. This is going to happen. Whatever. It was just a purpose-built film.
Ooh, you know what we did mention too? They've mentioned Spider-Man in this movie. This is after everybody forgot about Peter Parker too.
Yeah.
So it does confirm they still know Spider-Man.
Yes.
They don't know Peter Parker.
Yes. They know Spider-Man is a thing, but they do not know that Peter
I wish some of the... I know that they have to still have continuity. That's the whole thing that got Marvel big back when they started making continuity with their movies. But I wish that there was some more standalone movies and shows that were just so good and could stand on their own without having to pull or take from other movies.
I feel like WandaVision, Loki, and almost Moon Knight all do that really well. Like
Their
WandaVision
shows,
was
though.
great. Loki was good. Their shows were good by themselves.
Right, but they're shows, and I guess it gives more time. That's why. But I feel like I wish there were some movies again that would do that. Because I like the Iron Man movies.
I feel like since COVID, I feel like Spider-Man No Way Home, and everyone hates me for this, was mediocre at best because
It was
nothing happened. Some guy showed up. Doctor Strange instantly captured him.
Yeah.
And then he tried to make them good. And they were like, okay, I'm good. And then the one evil one was like, I'm still evil. And then they kind of fist fight on a shield. And then,
At the end of the day,
falls,
nothing's
and then
changed.
He doesn't get her neck broke. It just wasn't that
I
great.
didn't
It's
realize
kind
I was going to lose a friend today.
It just wasn't that good of a
Well,
movie.
it's
really
kind of what
wasn't.
I'm saying grading this one for. It's like it fixes things or it patches up holes
To
or
me, it was
whatever.
like, this is our COVID. Let's make more money so we can make these movies better. And so they did that real quick with Spider-Man because they knew it was like Spider-Man takes a shit. 2.5 hours of him pooping, people would still pay out their ass to watch it. So, anyways, it's just like her. I could
How
be
much are we
like
talking?
Loki, and you're like yeah.
Spider shit.
Okay, look though, I have said in previous ones that we've talked about here, I love comic book Loki. Like, after the Infinity War that you gave me, the first thing that I read was the Ultimates 2, where Loki was the main bad guy in that. I thought he was amazing. So I read every
Because you
Thor
love bad
comic.
guys.
It's not all bad guys. I read every Thor comic, or any comic he was in, so that I could go to the movies and watch the first Thor and be well informed. And he was good in the first one. He was good in the Avengers. Second and third Thor movie can kiss my ass.
You
You're
better.
just mad because he looks like Darlene in the second one.
No, that's not. That's yes, he does, but that's not even why.
You,
Like,
you need to take a big sip, you thirsty girl.
No.
Literally, that's all you want is Loki.
no. So like in the second Thor movie, like in the first Thor movie, they had him like they had knives. It's like he's not a knife person. He's a magic person. So like they just had him throw
Yeah, but
knives.
he's
that was
also like a little shit who would steal stuff, so he's a little roguey. So it's kind of nice he's got daggers, you know.
Okay. But in the second movie, they were like, "All right, we heard you all.
He's a rat.
Like, he's not the Loki you all remember. So here we're gonna throw a couple of scenes in where he's using his powers, where he's like, "I'm Captain America, America, America," and then he just goes back to Loki and is like,
Yeah,
okay.
but don't lie, you like that scene.
I mean, I do. It was amazing because it shows his powers. But that's it. And then in the third movie, it's like, oh, whatever. I don't know.
I will say, where he died for Thor,
The sun
you know,
will shine on us again.
where he died, well, like, Thanos killed him and stuff. That was a little weird.
So I'm sure, like, well, here's another.
It was
thing.
too easy, and he was also being too nice.
This is exactly why I want this podcast. It's not because of the stuff we talked about before this. We are now going on the tangent of fun talking. This is what I've wanted from this podcast ever since we started. Just us just start rambling.
So one of the things that they showed during, like, or at the very beginning was the
Loki getting born from a horse with 9 legs.
I mean, Odin does come into Jotunheim riding Loki's baby,
He does come in.
and it's like he does come in, and like they just kind of look up. They're like, "Oh, Daddy's here to save us." It's like that's your baby he's riding. Like, get off his baby. No, they showed the Thor 4 trailer, Love and Thunder, one of the trailers that they played before.
It's Thor running.
Like that, they showed that trailer before they started Doctor Strange, and it's all out of order, and it's weird to me because again, Thor is the one that I went like and read every single one of them, and one of my favorite is like the Siege one, and that's where Loki was Sif for a little bit, and then like because everybody died and they came back and reincarnated on New Asgard, which was on Earth, and Then Ragnarok happens. He sacrifices himself to finish it, and then when they all come back, that's when he's Kid Loki, and he's trying to prove to them that he's a good person. New Asgard is in Thor 4, and he already sacrificed himself for Thanos. And it's like, all right, so we can't do the whole Ragnarok thing where Loki like sacrifices himself. And now there's this Kid Loki, which is some douchebag version of him from a different universe. So we can't do the whole like, oh, like me thing, because he was a little dick in that one. It's like, no, I am the leader here, blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, sit down, kid. Like, no. So they've already ruined all that. So I'm not looking for it. Season 2 of, I'm a fan of Loki.
Sorry, I woke up. So I was kind of fall asleep there.
Damn.
We're divorcing.
Shots fired.
We're divorcing.
Ooh, can we do that too? Like if we're gonna add things, when we do shots fired, you just have like bullets coming from one
It's
of
like
us.
Little explosions on the fingertips.
It's like a Cuphead, like the.
Yeah, you gotta do like the real shitty ones that are just like 2D, like from Diablo, where they're just like. Ooh, yeah.
Your dad.
Yeah. The Queen has awakened.
Hey everybody.
So I'm not going to answer it on stream here.
Like, hey, Dad, you're being recorded.
I don't know. I really do feel like since COVID, Marvel's like, we're gonna make money, so let's get these titles out. And I'm really done with trailers. Like, I don't need any Marvel movie trailers. Just do like you did Spider-Man. Next movie, have the trailer play there. That's it. Move on to the next one. I don't need trailers. I'm gonna go see them.
So far, the Thor one has not really given anything away except for New Asgard. That's it.
I'm pretty sure Beta Ray Bill's gonna be there. I'm in the camp of where it's got him and Korg sitting together, and there's a big empty space to the left of them where they're just like, hey. I'm hoping that's gonna be Beta Ray Bill, like, because they're back on the planet that was in Ragnarok.
Yes.
The trash planet. So they're back there. So he was a champion. He was on the building. I hope so.
Beta Ray Bill.
I don't know. We'll see. I'm really excited for Fantastic Four. Morbius sucked, so I'm less excited for Blade because I thought Morbius was going to be good and then Blade was going to have something to go kill. And then now they're doing the Kraven movie too, which I didn't know about, but they're just ruining all my hopes and dreams. Like, I really wanted a Spider-Man Last Hunt like movie because you had the horror movie come out with Doctor Strange. There was a shit ton of blood in it. Literally, Captain Carter cut in half by her own shield.
That was one we didn't mention on there.
Yeah, so it was bloody and it was scary.
They didn't show some of those, like you saw like her throw the shield, and then you saw like Carter's face.
She did a Darth Maul.
Yeah, so like it's hinted at that, but I mean, like, there was a lot more like room for, like, if they would have shown blood, it would have been much more gory.
I think they did it for Deadpool.
Yeah,
they show that we can be a little bit darker and more adult.
He just asked if it was sexist to kill the girl or not to kill a girl. Yeah. So.
And then
my favorite part.
Also, then, like I said, you got things like, what was I just talking about?
Gore and in your movies you want to see like Blade.
Blade, like, you're gonna be killing vampires. If you're hunting vampires, they can't just be like, I sucked this guy's blood and there's no blood you can see, but
there was blood in my mouth.
No. Not so much the looks or anything, but like as deadly, fast, and scary vampires as like priests, like that world.
Basically, I just want the first Blade movie over again. Like, that movie was so good. I love that movie so much.
Well, we'll see what happens in these series and whatnot.
I would laugh if they somehow get Wesley Snipes to do it again.
I really think he's gonna be in it. I really do. Like, I still think
cameo maybe.
Well, I think the multiverse is still gonna be happening. So I got a feeling like you could see Wesley Snipes' Blade,
or maybe he's just a mentor passing it down.
I don't think they're going to do that, but I can see them doing something with the multiverse where it's going to connect them together.
Well, hopefully, like, we're starting to get into things like the Secret Wars. I'm interested in, not extremely interested in, but I am interested in it. I don't really care about Miss Marvel. I don't care about the Marvels or anything like that. Season 2 of Loki, I'll be there.
Moon Knight, I'm all over it.
Yeah, like, that was actually much better.
Are they doing another season?
So, apparently Disney at one point had a post, like, they've been really good whenever, like, the series ends, like the season finale of it. They're saying series finale because they don't know if they're going to bring it back for more or not. But they put a post out, was like, season finale of Moon Knight's over. Then they took it down and put series finale. So it was like, they know they're going to do a second one, and the way they let it up, guys, if they don't do a second one.
Put out season first, let it sit out there for a few hours, and then go switch it to series.
So like, I'm pretty sure they're going to, but I don't want another season of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Like,
Bucky and Falcon show.
Fuck that show. That show was so bad.
No.
You know what was bad about that show? They're like, here's the Winter Soldier. He doesn't want to kill anybody no more. He's really trying to make
it's not
amends.
Bucky.
He's trying to be nice.
Even in Civil War, whenever he was Captain America, like, he was still that dark. He was Winter Soldier, and like him and Black Widow, like they had a past. They're not okay with killing, but they kill if they have to. Like, don't make him a good guy. Don't make him like this, like I'll never kill again type character.
I want Winter Soldier Captain America. I really want Punisher Captain America.
I want that so bad.
I don't think we're gonna get anything Punisher for a bit because they're changing him now.
I don't think they're going to. I think they're going to keep the same actor. He did a good job.
He did.
I'm talking about the naming and everything about the Punisher. They're changing the name.
Why?
And the symbol.
Why?
Because of the political air right now. He's used for the skull and
the sniper.
right wing.
I don't give a shit. Like,
I agree,
he's the Punisher.
Shots fired.
they're. I mean, look at that.
If Marvel does this, once again, I will go to Marvel, find somebody, and I will shit in all their pairs of shoes.
Now that one, it might happen. That one we actually might do. No, so I'm okay with how this is going. They're starting to get much deeper into the Marvel universe.
Bring the bad guys.
I don't really care about what they're doing here. Like, I don't care about Iron Man's kid. Like, I don't care about Miss Marvel or the Marvels. Like, those characters. I'm not saying that they're a bad thing that they're going into it and all that stuff because, like, of the unique things that they're doing. But those comics have never been interesting to me, so I'm not looking forward to it.
I'm interested to see what they're going to do with the Marvels, just to see, like, what that's going to bring into the world. Yeah. But I don't really care that much. Like, the first Captain Marvel movie wasn't great.
Yeah.
Like, it was cool to see how Sam Jackson lost his eyes and a blockbuster again.
Yeah.
But that's about it.
So, overall, average 8 out of 10 for Doctor Strange. March of Madness. 8 fingers. But definitely go and see it. It's well worth it. Now, for next episode, not next week, but the week after, because of course next week is going to be the new D&D episode. So I don't even know which one we're on that one. I'm not going to lie to you. I have not kept up on it.
4 or 5, I think.
No, I think we're on 6.
Shit.
Yeah, because I think the last one was whenever they went to the desert town. So
all I know is I'm ready to play a random ass character.
Yes. Please, again, don't split party.gmail.com. Still send those in. We've got about 20. I'm going to try and get like 5 people to play, and then me, of course,
I
run
can
the
make one that's like Wolverine, so he's going to be like a little dwarf, and he uses like wooden spoons for like what he thinks, and just
There is another one that I would like. I'm probably going to keep that one out of the group because I want to make him myself and do him like an NPC.
Well, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, because there's a barbarian who apparently has a following of people, and like he does a cooking show while he's traveling with the group. So like he'll kill somebody and be like, "Now you want to season the meat just right and keep it here," and everybody's like,
"Get it real tender."
Yeah, exactly. It's like that's my character.
Oh, and he burns shit. He just goes in barbarian rage. He's like, "Oh,
spoiled again." I wanted to keep that character for me.
Or someone's like, he's eating fish, and they like drink or like red wine or white wine with them. So he's like, "How dare you drink red with this?
You don't use red wine for that. This is a white wine only kind of thing."
This new logo sucks, but they may not keep it permanent, but it's going to be for a bit.
Bullshit.
That's
nope.
That's the new. I mean, it's not. It looks just kind of more edgy, but it's essentially trying to eliminate just the normal skull look.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah.
Nope.
And apparently his new.
Just put it right here. All right, Amber. Right here.
And his new purpose for life apparently is the hand. That's what group he's fighting. Has resurrected his wife. The same backstory initially. The reason
hand?
why. Yeah, has resurrected. He was going to kill them all.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Sure, bullet wounds and all.
It's just an EMT. He's like, "How dare you bring back my wife? She was dead." "Sir, she was only shot for like 10 seconds. I just brought her back so she wouldn't die."
He's like, "Sir, the longer she's out, the more oxygen her brain leaves. She could have been brain dead."
"She was dead.
I had to work fast."
Anyway.
He's like, "No, she was dead."
I need motivation.
Damn you for killing her again.
It just slaughters her, just shoots her.
It's like, sir, you just shot her. No, it was you.
She just had a slight heart attack. She was going to be able to make it. No, she wasn't.
Apparently,
punished.
apparently, the hand though is also controlling him now because of this. Like they said, yeah, you can have your wife, but you know you got to do our bidding. So it's weird.
I'm not happy with that.
Nope.
Yeah, they're changing him a bit.
Either way, okay with 8 out of 10 for Doctor Strange. Marvel, we'll see how it goes in the future. But for the next episode, we are going to do a Stranger Things. So this is like Strange Month.
We're going to talk about how I think Hopper became Putin.
Oh, you have no idea what you're getting yourself into if you watch this next episode. I have got papers upstairs in my office where I have done so much research.
Office? You mean the computer room
Yes.
I mean-
it's still a desk.
where there's
In an office
food and
It's whatever.
dishes?
I eat in my
and all
office all the
plates
time.
Yeah, I eat at my office. I eat at work.
and
No,
moldy cups.
no, it's not moldy. So
It's old.
we're gonna do an episode of Stranger Things. We're gonna talk about it. I really feel like they're going deeper and deeper into the lore of Dungeons and Dragons. So be prepared. I have done a lot of research, both at work and here. Yes, work, you've heard me right. It's really not busy on Saturdays.
Don't let her lie. She's super busy. She's not doing that at work because I work at the same place and we work hard all the time.
So join us every Tuesday. Don't split the party. Nerding out specifically for this one. But we will see you all next week.
See y'all.
Bye.
Bye.